of fame, and the world is gonna know your name. The script and Will I Am kicking us off on a very lovely Thursday evening here on Joy 99.7 FM. And as always, Thursdays afford us the opportunity to have sizzling conversations with the movers and shakers in Ghana. And tonight, my guest is a shaker. Yeah. She shook Ablekuma North constituency a few weeks ago. And tonight we get to tell a story. Very wonderful lady. I'm trying to pronounce her nickname because I got to find out not long ago. Is it? She's actually gaping literally. Maybe she's going to help me pronounce it herself. But my guest describes herself as a strategic thinker, a natural entrepreneur, and an organizer. She's knee-deep in solutions architecture, business development, process design, and management and leadership. Now she wants to represent the people of Ablekuma North in Parliament. She snatched the parliamentary candidate slot of the New Patriotic Party from the incumbent Member of Parliament, Nanakia Usefriye. And she's ready for that mantle. Please help me welcome Shipiti.
My God!
No, you've got to help me. How do you pronounce that? Shipiti?
No. No, we are not doing this.
Welcome to Personality Profile, Shiela Bartels. I like the smile on your face after you heard your own nickname. Why are you covering your face now? Tell us about that nickname.
I am not telling.
You're not telling?
No.
Okay,
I am not.
Pronounce it. Pronounce it.
No.
We shouldn't go there.
No, don't go there, please.
Well, it's very obvious there's some interesting stories behind it, eh?
I will prefer the she babes.
The she babes.
Yeah.
Okay, she babes.
That is my professional nickname.
Okay. Welcome to Personality Profile, she babes.
Thank you, Lexis.
And I need to say congratulations to you. I'm sure you're happy, aren't you?
Well, I'm happy for the people I represent.
Is it not for yourself? Is it what?
It's a lot of work.
It's
a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it, but I think I'm happier for them.
You're happier for them. Yeah. Why?
Because I know what they are getting in the next 4 years, and I'm happy for them.
What are they getting? I'm curious because you sound like they struck gold, eh?
You know what? Mm-hmm. When we sit back,
yeah,
especially as people who focus on business and all that, and not looking at the political scene, there is so much in our hearts that we know we can achieve for our communities. But we are usually intimidated by politics, especially when you haven't been in the front line, since your childhood or something. So you sit back and then you worry that the people that you pick to represent you, they don't know what is in your heart. They don't know what it is that they have to do that will make the communities better.
Yeah.
I am a very exposed person. I've traveled quite a bit, and I've also developed quite a number of things. And I know that once I knew that once I had the opportunity, I was going to do great things. And I'm so happy for the people of Ablekuma North because they are going to experience what I have dreamt for so many years. And I think it's beautiful. It's really the things that we all desire for our communities, the way we would want to see our country be. And when we have the opportunity, we are able to do it in our little corner.
Yeah.
And that is why I'm happy.
You speak profoundly of the things yet to do.
Yes.
And somebody will say, look, it's the politicians' language. When they are not there yet, they actually say it all. We are dreaming of beautiful things. We're going to get beautiful things and all. But they get into the seat and they realize that it's an arduous task.
Well, let me tell you something. Life is an arduous task. And as you're saying, you can look at the problem,
Yeah.
or you can look at the possibilities. And the moment you decide that you're going to focus on the possibilities and put your best efforts in, you may not achieve everything.
Mm-hmm.
But once you start, you see that there's an energy that helps you to get there. It is the same energy that pushed me when I, decided to get into politics, because it's very intimidating.
Yeah?
It's very intimidating, especially, like I said, if you haven't been in frontline politics all your life.
Mm-hmm.
The first hurdle you cross is, who do you think you are? There is a line of people who deserve to do it.
Yeah.
And you just came in and you want to do it. Who do you think you are? That particular issue is the biggest you have to cross first. And once you overcome that, it gives you a certain confidence and you move.
Right.
And the thing is that the moment you overcome one thing after the other, you see that there's a certain push.
And you just
that
keep
you
going.
get, and you keep going.
Well, congratulations one more time. Let me take you back to 20th of June 2020. I know you put in a lot of work ahead of the primaries.
Yes.
But were you confident of a win?
Oh, yes, I was.
Why were you so sure?
Well, because I'm a very God-fearing person.
Hallelujah.
And I believe that the journey started with me having that energy speak to me that you're going.
Okay.
So it was a direction for me that I'm going. And secondly, I had a lot of backers, starting with my father, starting with my fiance, starting with the team that backed me. I got a very, very, very strong team who decided that they would give me the support, and they worked so hard to get me there. And then I had a lot of people who were praying for me, my family, my sisters, and you are down one day, and then somebody will say something, and it will just push you up. Yeah. And I mean, there was just too much that was going positively. And the good thing is, I never took my eyes off the goal. And somewhere in the middle of it, I realized that there are two things. The first one is, either the people of Ablikuma North are human beings, or the people of Ablikuma North are a different breed. That is politics. Yeah. Because people make it seem as if you are not dealing with human beings, you're dealing with politics. And they create this beast that seems very scary. But along the line, I realized these are human beings. You treat them well, and they would give you what it is that will help you to get there.
I know ahead of the elections, well, should I call them your detractors? They were always referring to your father, because you actually mentioned it yourself, Honorable Shiela Bartels.
Yes.
Who was the former Minister of Information during the Kufuor's administration, also a member of Parliament for the same Ablikuma North. Yes. I think he served 3 terms, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm sure you heard those who claimed the seat is a family property and whatnot. Really, what role did that play in it?
Well, it was natural that there were people who were there, people who are still there, running the constituency. And like I said, I was a newcomer. And even though, yes, I've been doing active campaigns for the NPP, every election I've been very active. I founded the Hope campaign. The Hope team, yes, I remember that. Yes, exactly. And together with Nanaya Omantiao and a host of others, we brought it up, and it's a very strong entity. So yes, I've been involved in the politics, but not on the constituency level as much. Okay. It's more of, I support people and I do things here and there, but I wasn't doing the front line. So the detractors that you call were people who felt that I hadn't been as present in the constituency as they expected somebody who would want to represent the people. Yeah. So naturally they would fight. And I went in knowing that it wasn't going to be just something that was handed to me on a silver platter. But, with my father being in the picture, he gave me a lot of guidelines. I would go to him periodically and I would say, I'm struggling with this.
Yeah.
And he would advise.
Okay.
I need to see this person, and he will connect me. So he helped me along the way. And I also believe that when you have people who have done something before, it is only smart for you to let them give you a helping hand.
Right.
And I think people come and beg for him to be their godfathers. And I have a godfather who birthed me.
Yes.
So why do you walk away from that and then go and seek outside help? And I think, he was quite instrumental in guiding me.
Would you say that gave you a little bit of a leverage?
He did. That's I cannot walk away from.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Now, I'm particularly interested in growing up and how you became such a very virtuous woman and one who wants to represent her people. So tell us about growing up and where did you grow up? Were you born in Ablekuma North?
I grew up in Ablekuma North.
Okay.
Yes, and so most of my life before I traveled out, I was in Ablekuma North. That was my environment growing up, all my friends and everything, And but I moved out.
Okay.
I lived in the States for a while.
At what age?
That was in 1996. 1995.
Are you trying to let me go for a math class or something?
No. 1995. You mean at what age?
Yeah.
How old was I then? I was 20.
You were 20 then?
Yes.
Okay, so much of your junior, secondary education was here in Ghana.
Yes.
Where did you school?
I went to Achimota School. And then I did my sixth form at Swedru Secondary School. And then after that I went.
But how was growing up like with a father who was politically exposed like that?
Yes.
I'm sure, the beginnings weren't as difficult. Probably you were a little privileged, would you say?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, he struggled. He struggled because at that time it was opposition.
Yeah.
And even 1996, when he first became MP, that was we were still in opposition.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we got into power in 2000, that was before he became minister and all of that. It was not an easy road.
Tell me about it. Tell me about growing up before those glory days.
I didn't have glory days. A lot of people have the impression of some dadaba things. That's not what it is. Actually, I grew up in a very good home. Raised by my parents. I had a stepmom as well because my parents divorced when I was in Form 1. I was 11 then.
Right.
So I had a stepmom, but she's a fantastic woman. She actually brought me up. I have an excellent relationship with her. She has an excellent relationship with all my siblings. So I didn't have difficulty. But then obviously, with dad being a politician, you always have the crowds coming home, and when they come home, you have to take care of them, be feeding them, helping here and there. Whenever they have programs, events, we were the ones that were doing all the dirty work and all that. So I did get a bit of experience with that before traveling out.
So were you admiring politics at that age during the days of service to the people who came home and all? Was that what started the interest in politics?
That was just home. I mean, that was just how it was.
Yeah.
People come home, you serve them, there's programs, you do it. I didn't think much of it as politics, no.
For you as a young person, what did you want to be?
I never knew what I wanted to be.
Really?
No. I never had. I just knew I would want to help people. It's something that has been part of who I have been. But I had never narrowed it down to a particular job or particular business. It's just in my nature to help people. So I guess I have always known that I wanted to do something that helps people. I've also been in ministry for some time. So it's something that I love to do.
So what was the first time you had a conversation about career path? Do you recall anything of the sort?
No.
Not at all.
No.
So what did you study in secondary school, for example?
I did, in sixth form, I did, what was it, economics, traditional religion, and what else was the third one?
You don't remember? So there was not like a destination. You literally were just going to school.
I knew I wanted to do business.
Okay.
Because I remember one time I was probably in my early teens, and I told my dad I wanted to go and get a shop and sell. And he said, "What is wrong with you? You are in school and you want to go and sell what?" You know. So wanting to trade has also been something that I've been interested in. And interestingly, when I traveled out of the country, the initial plan obviously was go to school. But then I was on my own, so I decided to work a bit and raise money and go to school. But when I started, I realized that I really liked working and making money. So I decided to focus on, working and making money. And then one thing led to the other. Actually, within 2 years, I had established my first company in the U.S.
Wow.
Doing trading airline tickets and hotel rooms. At that time, I was working with the Hyatt Hotel. And I saw an opportunity. I took the opportunity, and then it ended in opening a small office and then providing service usually to the Ghanaians.
And this is 2 years after you had arrived in the U.S.
Yes.
And you were much younger then, probably 22.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It was a very long time ago.
You literally
1997.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
You literally put the school aside?
Yes. And at that time, my sister, the one
Linda,
had come to the States. So, and she decided to go to school. So I decided to support her to go. So
whilst you do business?
Yeah. Because I was enjoying what I was doing. I mean, at that time, it was just, okay, let me take a course.
Yeah.
So I would do the courses that were relevant to what I was doing.
Yeah.
I wanted to be very good at what I was doing. So I decided to take courses that would support what I was doing. Now, at that time, I was trading tickets, electronic, airline tickets.
Airline tickets, you
and
mentioned.
then booking rooms. And then bringing people to Ghana on tours. So I decided to take a course on the travel and tourism.
Okay.
And I was happy with that. And I did that until my business, it blew up. I mean, it became very big, and the Ghana Embassy was buying from me, U.S. Department of State was buying from me. I got married at that time, and my late husband was working at the Embassy of Ghana at the time. So most of the companies that would come there for visas, he would connect me to them, and then I was getting a lot of business. So I was very comfortable. I was very happy.
You were enjoying the money making bit. Wow.
I was very comfortable in that zone. My business became very big. And I remember.
Is it still running?
No.
What happened to it?
I'm talking about when I was in the States.
Yeah.
I did that until I left. I left in 2001.
In 2001?
Yes.
Why?
Well, when my father got into government, he decided to have me come and help him, help take over his companies, because he couldn't run his companies anymore.
Okay.
And so he came and beseeched me to come back
home and help run the company.
And so and my late husband at the time, he didn't, he wasn't resident then, so he really wanted to come back to Ghana.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of motivation to return, and so in 2001 we came back.
And you were still very much young at the time,
yes.
But you had the arduous task of running your father's companies.
Yes. So I actually started with running his company. It was a real estate business. I didn't know much about real estate, so I kind of flopped a bit on that end.
You flopped?
Yes, because I was more interested in my IT business. I also set up my IT company, and I saw that I was spending more time with my IT business than my father's business, the real estate business. And it was because it was a new territory for me. I struggled a bit.
Did you run it down?
I did run it down.
You did?
Quite a bit, yeah.
Have you apologized to your father for that?
Oh, over and over and over. But actually what happened was my other sister also came down. So what I did was I worked with her to take over, because they were in the real estate business.
Okay.
So they were stronger there. So I kind of, actually this was a very short period that I ran it. And then my sister took over, and she focused on that. So I could focus on what it was that I could do very well.
Was it you who ran it down, or your sister?
No. She ran it. She actually ran it for a very long time.
For a long time.
Yes. She did a good job at it.
So now you're doing your IT company?
Yes.
At what point did Stay Sweet Company come in?
Oh, Stay Sweet. Actually, it came in when I was running my company, and then somebody brought an opportunity to buy some equipment. So I felt it would be a good side business. And so I picked it up, and then I started running. It was a very small business, and it was doing very well. So my father-in-law had a space in our hometown. So we decided to move the business there, because he was interested in running it full time. And so he was running it whilst I was focusing on what I was doing. And then I was doing most of the business connections, the trading and all that. And then there was an opportunity to bring in a partner, because there was a facility for us to be able to expand on what we were doing. And the partner had a farm, because we were doing orange juice. So the partner had a farm, orange farm, and he felt that, he would be in a better position to run the business, on the large scale, because then it was converting a small business to a very large scale business. So in actual fact, I sold the company to the third party,
right,
who had the farms, and he took over. So by the time the facility, the equipment, and all that brouhaha started, the business actually belonged to a third party.
Okay.
Yes.
You had your hands in a lot of things.
Not necessarily. It was actually just two businesses. My IT business and then the orange juice business. And I sold it because I wanted to focus on
and then that is real estate business.
No, that was being run by my sister.
Okay, that you handed over.
Yes.
What kind of daughter do you think you were to your dad?
I'm a daughter to...
No, I'm talking about to your dad
to my
specifically.
Dad. Well, it depends on what he would tell you. Because he tells people that I'm his favorite. But we have... I know I was a very aggressive, rebellious, difficult child, because I always had so many things I wanted to do, and I felt, he was not giving me a chance. So I would force, if I want to do something, anything I set my mind to do, I will do it. And sometimes, we had our conflicts. But I was the only person who could really stand up to him and tell him, hey, this thing you're doing, no.
Okay.
I was the only one who could stand up to him, because he was a very fearful...
Well, good thing is You've told me what kind of daughter you were, but let me find out from him myself.
Oh.
Because he is on the phone line now. Honorable Kwamina Bartels.
Yes, please.
Good evening, and you're live on Joy 99.7 FM. I'm sure you heard your daughter Sheila talk earlier. Tell us, what kind of daughter was she?
Wow. That's a very interesting question. Well, she's a Bobby's girl. Named after my mother. So really, I had reverence for her just as I had for my mother.
Wow.
But I noticed she took a lot of the character of my mother. She's a very determined lady.
Right.
If she sets her heart on achieving an objective, there's very little you can do to divert her attention from. She's a very hard worker.
What do you think about...
She's not afraid of... Pardon?
Okay, go ahead, Daddy.
She's not afraid of taking risks.
Mm.
You know, my mother used to describe her as the Lucia. That she was a man in the body of a woman. Strong words. But one thing about her, just like my mother, if she made you a commitment, she will make all the sacrifices that are necessary to fulfill that commitment.
Mm.
When she was a child, she was the one you sent, and in the twinkle of an eye, back. So everybody would send her. And one day we got her and found on the wall, written on the wall, was really possible.
Oh my God.
What was written on the wall again?
Wasumanyi padudu.
Okay, Daddy, one more question though. What do you think about her decision to contest for the Ablekuma North seat?
Well, to be honest, her decision came to me as a surprise.
Oh.
It came to me as a surprise. She had probably been doing her underground nosing around before she told me that I want to contest. So what I told her was, I asked her what are her chances, and she said, I'm going to win. The certainty with which she told me she was going to win convinced me that she must have her underground work and come to the conclusion that she would win.
Hmm.
But I also set my own team up to convince me to. Yes. Indeed, when the current MP appealed to me to talk to her to step down for her, I told her that I had sent people around and I wanted to be sure whether what she told me was true, whether she could win, because I don't back losers. In 2008, when I backed Joe Atia against the former consortium chairman and now the MC, Joe Atia won. And then when I backed Free, Honorable Ekura Free, the current MP, against Kofi Ofori and Joe Apia. She also won. So I didn't want to give up that title of always backing the winner.
Now, if everything goes as planned, she will win the seat. What will be...
She will win the seat. What we're looking at now is what margin. I want her to improve upon my margin.
Oh, wow.
My best margin.
Okay. that's the confidence Daddy has put in you. But Daddy, finally though, should she win and represent the people of Ablekuma in Parliament, what would be that one advice you will give her based on your experience in politics in Ghana?
Keep in touch with the people. Talk to them constantly. Let them feel that you are on top of their problems, you are in touch with their problems, and you are on top of all the efforts that you are making to resolve them. Even if you don't achieve them, the fact that you've been constantly talking to them and giving them the respect that they deserve for entrusting you with their votes, that is what is going to sustain her in the constituency.
All right. Honorable.
The people are usually, what they want are very simple, a lot of which she can organize herself. The Common Fund from the National Health Insurance Fund and all the other funds where MPs are given small sums to develop, to put into developmental projects. She knows almost everybody in the NPP because of the Hope campaign that she launched with some friends. So she can use that connection to get a lot of development in the constituency. But the most important is keep in touch with the people.
Okay. Honorable, thank you so much. We're grateful that you made time to speak to us here on Personality Profile. She's actually really smitten, if I can put it that way. Honorable Kwamina Bartels was former Minister of Information during President Kufuor's administration. He's also a former Member of Parliament for Ablekuma North constituency. And his daughter is my guest here. What's Manyi Padudu?
Oh, come on.
You can send in your messages if you have any questions for her. Send it to our WhatsApp 0244340437. Lexis, my first encounter and only encounter with her was when I delivered a ticket to her at Ghana House. I sent a promotional SMS and she advised, Lexis, I quote, or say, take your money payment after every business. It's important. I admire her. Pa. She is a businesswoman. I mean, her story tells it. I don't know whether you're still running In Charge Global and Lexicon Energy.
Yes.
How are you involved with these companies?
Well, In Charge Global, I built because when I came back from the States, I launched my U.S. business in Ghana.
The travel ticketing business as well.
So it was, I actually, as at the time I was leaving the States, I was trading the tickets online. So I had an online platform.
Okay.
And it was GhanaOnline.com. So it was actually my platform that people were buying tickets and booking their hotels on. And I launched it in Ghana. And when I launched it, I realized that we didn't have a payment system in Ghana at the time. We didn't have the infrastructure to do that. So I set up In Charge Global to actually provide the IT payment solutions software. So it actually became quite a big company with agency banking and all that, partnered with quite a number of banks. And we have a very large agent network. Now they provide eSwitch in partnership with Gibbs. So it's still running. Most people who receive their payments on their eSwitch smart cards, they go to agent points to cash out, and that is the service that quite a number of my agents.
You're involved with Lexicon Energy as well?
Yes. So that is a company that provides energy equipment.
Okay.
So we have these fuel stations. It's a whole fuel station that is containerized. So companies that are, some of them work deep in the forest, like the not Galamsey, but small mining companies and companies that work deep in areas where you don't have the traditional petrol stations. They buy these equipment so that they can store the fuel there and dispense it at very remote locations.
Okay.
Yes. So
you had a sugar business as well.
No, the Stay Sweet Sugar is what.
That's the same sugar
it's called
thingy.
Stay Sweet Sugar Enterprise.
What happened to it eventually?
I sold it.
That's what the one you sold.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right. Good. Anyway, you've been there. You've been busy.
Oh yes. As for business, I would say that I have a bit of my personal passion is developing ideas. Developing ideas, bringing it to life, and sometimes I actually help businesses with just that part.
Okay.
They may be struggling with coming up with ideas to build up products, and I go in and I help them. And that bit I do on a consultancy level. Sometimes I help banks to develop solutions for mobile payments and stuff like that. So I like.
So what keeps you busy now? Politics or the business?
For now, the politics keeps me tied up.
How are you preparing for the elections in December?
Currently, we've put our campaign teams together, the strategy together, and hopefully next week we are going to start training our team members to hit the ground, and hopefully from September we would be on the ground working.
So what do you think about the performance of the NPP government led by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo?
I believe if you look at the list of projects that we have been able to achieve in the last 3.5 years, you would agree with me that this particular government has overperformed and it has overachieved on the targets that it has set for itself. Because looking at the challenges that we had when we came into power in 2017, we were faced with a lot of debt that we inherited from the NDC government. There were so many projects that were overbloated and so many challenges that they left behind for us. And I will commend His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency Baumia, and his entire team, because I believe that they have really done so well, especially in clearing quite a number of the debts that were left behind, and still being able to achieve all of these things, especially with a free SHS, which was our flagship promise, which we gave to the people of Ghana. And I believe that we do deserve a round two. We do deserve 4 more years to do more, because we will deliver on whatever it is that we are promising to the people of Ghana.
Well, the latest debate is the infrastructure debate, and I'd want you to wade in a little bit as well. Do you really think that the NPP has performed better than the NDC with regard to infrastructural development?
I know for a fact that we have done so much more, and I also think we have to appreciate what we have been able to do in terms of value for money. Because if you consider the projects that we have done and the amounts that we were able to spend to get these projects done, even when you look at the quality of projects that the MPP brought, Dr. Baumia, His Excellency, presented the interchange that ex-President Mahama did at $260 million. And you look at the list of projects that the MPP has done for the same $260 million, and you would see that we have kept our eyes on the goal. We have been able to do much more in terms of infrastructure. We have been able to do much more for the little money, and I think that Ghanaians can trust the NPP with the taxpayers' money much better than we would ever trust the NDC. I think we should never let the NDC come to power again. And I believe that with that, the NPP would bring Ghana very far to the promised land. Yes.
I got to know of a few things you've been doing in the Ablekuma North constituency.
Yes.
Providing 100 street lights to the municipality, repairing community streets and whatnot. You did all these out of your pocket?
Yes, I did. Not all out of my pocket. Quite a bit of it I got support from friends. Usually when we see something we want to do, you would always want to mobilize. And a number of times I've reached out to friends, especially the Hope Campaign, because it's a very huge organization now with a lot of people who are also willing to do their best to support the projects that we do. And you know, there are a lot of Ghanaians who want a platform to be able to also contribute to the development of the country, and they see the Hope Campaign as a good platform to do that. We launched the round 2. I'm sure you've seen round 2 everywhere. Yes, that's also a Hope Campaign initiative.
Right.
And we believe that the ordinary person cares about their community. And so when I reach out to them and I say, hey, I have a project here I want to do, would you like to help? You would get somebody bring 1,500 and all that, and we are able to mobilize and do projects. So quite a number of them.
Yeah, I mean, I see a whole list of things that you've done, supporting victims of the fire disaster, the general elections, feeding PSCs and whatnot. And I'm wondering, were you doing all these because you wanted to get into Parliament?
Some of them I did way before I decided to run.
But some of them you did because you wanted to run?
Some of them I did when I came, especially with helping people who are sick and all that. They reach out to you because you're running. So when you're running, you know, you come into the limelight, so people find it easier to connect to you and they bring their issues. So yes, when they come, you do your best to support them. So
what do you say to those who say that, I mean, members of Parliament do all these things and it puts a lot of burden on them, and probably why we are still unable to stem corruption in the system, because they have spent a lot?
It is an expensive venture, yes. But the thing is, you can't run away from supporting the people you represent when they come to you for help. And I think it also brings to light the fact that we have to do a lot more to bring up the quality of life of our people. Because if you take my constituency, for instance, you have a very small bracket of the middle class, and you have a very huge, I have over 95% of my people in low income. And with that, there is the daily struggle. So you have to find a way of ensuring that if at least the next generation after them, they get the needed help, maybe to go to school, go to university, and so they can lift up themselves, and then they can be able to support themselves rather than require politicians to support them. Because it can be a bit frustrating when you have a lot of people who come to you for maybe rent and hospital bills and food, and it's normal. But when it's a very huge number that comes to you, then the tendency to cut yourself off becomes quite high. But I see it as, for me, it will be important for me to actually help the people to get more sustainable jobs, and then also, especially those in school, encourage them to complete at higher levels. Some of them, they would say, oh, Maria JHS, me mami inti me mboame, inti me pese mi jaina me kope ejuma, inti pejuma mami. I would rather want to help you to get into the university or, upgrade yourself so that you would be able to make a higher income. Because I see it that in the next 4 years, if you are financially stronger, you can actually support your family, and then you would be one less burden off of me. Instead of leaving you, finding you a job that can barely take care of yourself, and then we still have those challenges.
It's good you know the job at hand, because it's a very big one. Yes. Just before we came on air, I had posted on my Instagram and Facebook that you'll be coming in, and I got a message from Mrs. Jemima Nate, who's the founder and CEO of Happy Kids School, who says I should tell you to make it one of your priorities to work on the Kwashiman Junction Happy Kids School stretch.
Yes.
The
road is very bad.
Yes. She tells me it's very painful to work so hard, pay taxes, and yet a road used by many, including workers, residents, parents of students, public transport, has never been worked on. So
and I think some of the challenges that the businesses in my constituency face is infrastructure, because if you have it's a very big school, and I believe that if the infrastructure was good, she could probably attract people from other constituencies who could probably pay more, and will give her a better, so
you have work to do.
I do have work to do, and I do know the work I have at hand, and I believe that I'm ready for
If you had won the seat, I'd have asked you to promise her, but no, not yet.
I think you can be confident.
I should.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, because we are determined. I grew up in this constituency.
Are you going to promise her that you would work on the road?
I came on the scene because of what I think I must do.
So are you going to promise her that you
Well, MPs don't do roads, but the thing is that I'm going to do everything possible to make sure that I leave Ablekuma North much better than I came.
And her roads will be fixed by the time you leave.
My eye is on her road.
Okay. I'll take that. You mentioned earlier your late husband. I want to talk about family. I know about a little over 2 years ago, the unfortunate happened. But you're moving on.
I am. Indeed, I am.
Tell me about it.
Well, so yes, I did lose my late husband. May his soul rest in peace. In 2018,
right.
We had 3 children together, and then luckily for me, I met a fantastic man. His name is Emmanuel Wilson, and he and I have had a very good relationship for the last
for a little bit.
A year plus.
Okay.
Yes. So yes, we have actually started the process.
Oh, congratulations. And you said that with a smile on your face. You guys should see the smile on her face. I will live on Facebook, so, and oh my God, she's blushing. She's turning purple.
Oh, come on, Lexis.
Well, congratulations. I'm so happy
Thank
for you. And, well,
he's been a fantastic support for me.
Yeah.
Because he's a politician as well. So.
Oh, is he?
Even though we are on 2 different sides of the political divide, we don't want to talk about that.
No, that's fair. But he's not a member of the NPP.
No, he's not.
He's a member of the NDC.
No, he's not. Absolutely not.
But the way you say it, why you wouldn't have agreed to?
I wouldn't have.
Are you serious?
Well.
You wouldn't have dated him if he was NDC.
I don't know. I don't have any. I don't know. There's nothing that draws me to the NDC, and I don't think there's anything. I do have a lot of friends I love in the NDC, but
Indeed, I mean,
I don't think I would marry.
I just got a message from one of your friends in the NDC as well, so I was surprised. Is that Onassis?
Oh my goodness!
The Ashanti Regional Deputy Youth Organizer.
Sorry.
Which
what
party?
What is Mona saying?
It's okay. Which party is your fiance in?
He's in the PNC.
He's in the PNC. Oh, okay. So, how would you feel if the PNC candidate wins Ablikuma North? Are you going to leave him?
They would never win Ablikuma North.
Joy 99.7 FM.
We're even working to annihilate the NDC from Ablikuma North.
As we wrap up, Shiela, what has life taught you? The biggest lesson life has taught you?
The biggest lesson I've learned is that we have to be patient with the things that God has prepared for us. We may not trust God as much, but I have learned to trust Him too much. And I've learned to be patient with whatever it is that I see Him give to me.
Okay.
And to handle things well and not take things for granted.
Be patient, don't take things for granted. Great spending time with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And good luck in your bid to become the Member of Parliament for...
You didn't let me thank the people of Ablikuma North.
Oh, please, go ahead. You have just 10 seconds.
Yes. So I want to say a big thank you to, all the people of Ablikuma North, especially my campaign team, my chairman, my MCE, my father, my husband, to be my entire family, anybody who has shown me love, given me support. I think they have done so much for me. I appreciate it, and I would never let you down. Thank you so much.
So much. I'm Lexis Bill. Thanks to my team, Adam Naite, Philip Naya, Beku Sankofi, So Nofuri, Anita Mirabel. Next week, we will come your way with another engaging conversation here on Joy FM.